Hey guys, it's Finn, and today I'm going to show you what's in my camera bag. So I made a video a few months ago on what I bring in my MacBook Pro bag, and you guys seem to love that so much, so I thought I would finally get around to doing a sequel, I guess. But before we get into what's in my camera bag, I wanted to give a quick disclaimer. All the stuff in my camera bag is just what I use. And if you spend too much time looking at camera gear and looking at stuff to buy and trying to figure out what the very best thing is for your videos, then you're just going to be wasting your time when other people are out there creating awesome videos with the gear that they have. So yeah, really think about that before you go out and just purchase a bunch of camera gear. So without further ado, let's get started and I'll show you what's in my camera bag. Okay, so we're obviously gonna start off with the bag itself. This is the National Geographic Messenger bag. It's called the Africa edition, and this is absolutely my favorite camera bag. The entire thing is built out of this really strong material. I beat this thing up like crazy. It also has a strap in the back here, which is actually super handy. I was really confused as to what this was for at first, but what it's actually for is sliding onto your luggage. So this fits perfectly onto my luggage, and then I can just attach it back just like that and pull my luggage around without having to carry the bag at all. So that is super awesome that they have that implemented. I use that all the time when I'm at the airport, and it saves me having to carry this bag on my shoulder 24/7. So that's great. It also has this nice little National Geographic tag that you can pull out and put your information on it. I just left it blank so far because I'm lazy. But my favorite part about this bag is all of the stuff that I can pack into it. It's got this nice little pocket on the front that is the perfect size for your passport. So having your passport in there is really handy. It also has a pocket on the side right next to it where I keep my lens caps and ND filters. So right now I have my Sigma lens cap and then this beautiful variable ND filter in it. Now you can use this for normal video. As you can see, it gets lighter and darker as I turn it. But what I use this for mostly is time lapses. I keep it on its darkest setting and then just turn the shutter speed on the camera as high as I can get it. And this really helps for doing that in the daylight, and you get those really cool time lapses where the cars are just like blurs of light going past. So yeah, this is the ProMaster variable NDX filter. It's 77mm, so it works on my biggest lens, and then for the smaller ones I just sort of rest it on. I also keep, of course, a couple lens caps and a cleaning cloth. Just a nice little pocket to keep the odds and ends that you need to be able to access quickly. Next up, if we open the main compartment here with these little clasps like this, it's got a lot of different compartments inside, which is awesome for keeping things organized. You've got your main compartment in the middle, which actually slides out. So if you want to take this entire compartment out and zip it up separately, you can, which is kind of cool. And this is actually the pouch where I keep my main camera while I'm traveling. The camera that I use is the Panasonic G7. It's super small and compact for travel, which is awesome. And it is super affordable, and it shoots 4K video, which is absolutely amazing. The footage on this thing looks awesome. It's definitely some of the best footage I've seen off of a camera of this size. Very similar to the sensor in the GH4. They're almost indistinguishable. The only difference, I think, is you get a little higher frame rate with the GH4. Not 100% sure on that, but I can tell you that for the price difference between this and a GH4, you definitely don't see any difference in quality. I believe it's a bit more expensive now. I think I got it while it was on sale, but I bought two of them for $400 because I thought it'd be good to have like one for B-roll, and obviously I'm filming on the second one right now. So that ended up being a total of $800 for two of these cameras, and that's still a lot cheaper than even just one GH4. It's also, like I mentioned, just a lot lighter than the GH4, so it's a lot easier to hold in your hand like this for vlogging. It of course also has the flip out screen just like the GH4, and it has a mic jack, all the features that you'd really want. It has an amazing time-lapse feature built into the camera, so you can just set the time for the time-lapse and click go. It'll take pictures and then combine them all into a video afterwards. I used to do time lapses on my Canon 70D with Magic Lantern, but then I have to combine all those pictures on my computer, which would take me forever. But this camera does it all for me, and the quality is absolutely amazing. I know a lot of my other YouTube friends are using them now that I recommended them because they are just so cheap, and the quality you get out of them is amazing, especially if you're using the adapter. I use a Metabone speed booster with this to adapt it to my Canon lenses. Usually this fits right in here with my Sigma 18-35 lens. That's another thing that I bring with me in my camera bag. I'm actually using it to film right now, so I don't have it obviously on the camera. That's why it's just the body only right now. And the Metabones adapter basically just converts the micro four thirds to the Canon format, but it also gives you an extra stop of light and also gives you a much wider picture. So with the micro four thirds lenses, you're basically cropping your image down. but with the adapter, it'll actually adapt it to a much wider angle. So you're actually getting a little higher FOV than even the APS-C sensor on, say, the Canon 70D. So if I show you a quick 1080p shot with the adapter and my Sigma lens on the Panasonic G7, you can see it's a little bit wider than the Sigma lens on my Canon 70D, and you also get that extra stop of light, so it has a bit more bokeh, and just in general looks way better. You can even put it in 4K, and it is still a little bit wider, and obviously the quality of it is just way better, and it's absolutely amazing. So I think I've rambled enough about the Panasonic G7. It is my absolute favorite camera, and it stays in my camera bag at all times. But besides the camera, I have a lot of other stuff in here that I should get to. Next up is the microphone. I keep it in the same pouch as the camera, so I can quickly take it off and screw it on. That's one of the best parts about this bag, is because it's on my shoulder at all times. It's super easy to just open and grab my camera out really quick for a shot, and then put it back in, even change lenses, all that stuff. That's really important for a camera bag. But anyway, I'm getting a little bit distracted. This is the microphone that I'm using right now. It's called the Rode Video Micro. Now, I used to use the Rode Video Mic Pro, which is a little bit bigger, and it actually has a shock mount, so it stands really, really high on top of your camera, and it's just a little bit annoying to bring around. So I actually did modify it, and I added some Velcro here to add a sort of a noise gate between you and the camera. So the Velcro helps stop you from hearing all the camera sounds, so it doesn't hear you changing all the settings and hitting the buttons and stuff. So this way I can have the microphone on its side on top of the camera, and it doesn't take up as much room. And also, added feature, you can rip it off and put it in your bag easily to store, and then just stick it back on again. Makes it a little bit easier to take on and off than unscrewing every time. But the reason I switched from using this microphone, it's still a great microphone, and I would recommend it to everybody. But the reason I actually switched off of this microphone to using the Video Micro is that this one doesn't need batteries. The Video Mic Pro, you have to constantly turn on and off to conserve your battery life. And if you forget to turn it on for a shot, you're gonna have absolutely no audio, no in-camera audio, no audio from the microphone. That shot's gonna be basically ruined. I know lots of YouTubers have issues with this. I've done it countless times, and it's really frustrating. Next up in that pouch, we have my wide angle lens. This is my Canon 10 to 18 millimeter, and it's what I use for all of my handheld vlogging shots. So all the shots in my vlogs where I'm holding the camera in front of me like this, I shoot on this wide angle lens. It really opens up those shots and makes them look a lot better, in my opinion. It's also just a great lens for all around shooting my vlogs. It's really stable because it does have built-in stabilization and autofocus. I usually leave autofocus off. I'm not really an autofocus shooter. I like to just use manual focus because I always know what it's focused on, and it never has any problems. So yeah, having this wide angle lens on me at all times is awesome. And next up is my last lens that I bring in this bag. This is my Canon 24 to 105 millimeter. And I like to bring this lens with me everywhere in my camera bag, so I at least have one lens that can zoom. So the three lenses I bring with me, obviously, like I mentioned, my wide angle lens, my Sigma 18 to 35, which gives me that nice f1.8, and then the Canon 24 to 105 millimeter, which gives me some zoom. So I find that's really a great range of lenses. I hate bringing tons of lenses with me because they're all so heavy and cumbersome. But I find these three are really the best. And with this Canon lens, I get a great zoom, and also I have a constant aperture. So when I zoom in, the f-stop doesn't change at all. On a lot of lenses, as you zoom in and out, the f-stop will change. So I can be at 24 millimeters, which is fairly wide, and then zoom all the way into 105 without the brightness of the shot changing. This is also an L-glass lens, so just the quality out of it is really, really good. So yeah, those are the three lenses that I bring with me. Again, it gives me a nice wide variety to work with, and they all have a nice pocket in the bag, just like that. So yeah, if you're wondering what camera and what lenses I shoot on, there you go. You can stop the video now. You know the lenses, you know the camera. But now let's get into all of the other accessories that fit into this bag. Because if you guys shoot videos, you'll know you can't just have a camera and lenses. There are countless accessories that you need to shoot videos. There's a whole compartment here, as well as a pocket in the back and on the side. In this side compartment, I keep with me my Zoom H1N. This is a great microphone for those shots when you're kind of far away from the camera. If you guys watch my vlogs, you'll know that there's a lot of shots that I do where the camera is kind of far away, and if I use the Rode microphone, the quality just isn't really that great. So I like to bring this microphone with me for those shots, and I'll either hold it or set it down next to me, and that way the audio sounds really good. I also have a windscreen for it that I put over top in case it's a little windy. I absolutely love the quality of the Zoom H4N. It's a great microphone, but it's also a little bit bigger, so I opted for the Zoom H1N, and it just easily slips on the side of my bag like that. It also has a tripod mount, so if you want to attach it to a sort of boom pole, for some shots. That works great. I also, of course, bring a GoPro with me traveling. I was never a really big fan of GoPro until they released the Hero 5. When they released the Hero 5, I got one right away. I think the Hero 5 is an absolutely amazing GoPro. I keep it in the front pocket right here, along with obviously the frame for it, and a little tripod adapter mount if I need to use that, along with a bunch of other mounts, but I'll show that off in a minute. For now, let's talk really quick about the Hero 5. Like I said, wasn't a huge GoPro fan. I thought the Hero 4 was kind of useless. You never really knew what kind of a shot you were going to get, and the quality wasn't that great. With the Hero 5, it now shoots in 4K. It's got an awesome screen in the back, so you can see exactly what you're doing, and it's just awesome for time lapses and shooting cool action footage. And the quality is actually great now. It still kind of lacks in low light, but for most things, especially in sunlight, this thing absolutely rocks. It has a built-in time-lapse function and night time-lapse function. You can connect your phone to it to see what you're recording. So if I mount it to a car to get like a cool time-lapse, I can connect my phone and see exactly what it's filming outside the car, which is super handy. And yeah, I think it's just a great film tool to keep in my arsenal. I keep it in my bag along with a bunch of accessories, like I said. The bag has a small little pouch right here, which is perfect for keeping the GoPro screws. There's all kinds of random little adapters and attachments for this. I keep most of them just sort of loose in here, along with, of course, the GoPro frame. This is what you use to actually attach it to stuff, and that just kind of fits snugly on the side. I also started bringing a GoPro suction mount along with me. This was something I didn't think I would like using, but after I got it on my trip to New York, I absolutely love it. It's great for attaching to cars if you don't want to attach an actual sticky. This suction cup is super strong, and then you have a little arm here that you can move around to actually get a different shot. So you can attach it like this and be facing forward, or you can attach it looking down, anything like that. It's also perfect for sticking onto a window, whether you're in a car or an airplane, and get a perfect stable shot of the entire flight out the window. And I've also just attached it to windows of my hotel or apartment or wherever I'm staying. It's just really great to be able to stick your GoPro to things that you wouldn't otherwise stick it on. If you're using the 3M stickies to stick your GoPro everywhere, you'll go through a lot of them. So yeah, having the suction cup for the GoPro is super handy. Next up, you can see on the front of the bag, there's these two compartments on either side, which is perfect for holding my SD cards and my batteries. So I have this waterproof SD card case that fits perfectly right there, and it's a great way to organize all of my SD cards. So this is case 1 that I bring traveling with me for all my SD cards, and then Sky has case 2 back home. I just engraved case 1 on the side, on the face, and on the back. I thought it was a good way to differentiate them, and it looks kind of cool. If you open it up here, you can see it just has spots for all of your SD cards. You can put your micro SD cards in here. That's what I use for my GoPro and my drone, and then obviously the normal SanDisk SD cards in here. Most of them I have in my cameras right now. There's one in this camera, and then one in my B-roll camera up here. But yeah, this is just a great way to keep all your SD cards organized. You can keep one side for your empty ones and one side for the ones that are full. And yeah, it just keeps your SD cards protected in case, you know, there's any water damage. So it's just way better than having your SD cards loose. Don't ever put your SD cards loose in the bag. If they fall out or get crushed or just lost or anything like that, you'll be absolutely distraught. Trust me, that's happened multiple times where I finish shooting an entire day's vlog or shooting a really important video, and then I'll drop my SD card in the bag and I'll never see it again. So yeah, this SD card case has been absolutely awesome for preventing that from happening. I don't know exactly where I got this SD card case. I'll try and put a link in the description to everything that I keep in this bag, just like I did on my last video. I'll make sure I find like an Amazon link or something like that, so if you guys are interested in getting it, you can find it. Next up, the pocket on the other side is perfect for keeping my battery charger. I bought this charger on Amazon because it's a lot more compact than the charger that comes with the G7. Also, you can charge your batteries with it via a USB cable instead of via a wall plug. And the reason that's important is because I also bring with me this Anker battery pack. If you guys watched my MacBook Pro video, you'll know I also included this in that video. That's because I usually bring this in that bag, but then if I'm going out for the day, I'll put it in this pouch in the back here to charge my phone when I'm walking around, or to charge my camera batteries in an emergency. I like to charge all my camera batteries. I usually bring 3 or 4 with me in this bag. They all fit in this pouch right here. It's a pretty deep pocket, so I can bring a bunch of them in there. But if all the batteries do die, I can plug in this little USB cable into the battery pack and then plug that into the battery charger and actually charge my camera batteries. This is a 30,000 milliamp battery pack. So it has a ton of juice to charge up my phone. I can charge my phone up to 7 times, I think. I can charge my camera batteries, and if you're filming some really long time lapses with a GoPro, I can actually just leave this battery pack plugged in. I'll just prop it up on its side like this and then leave this in the GoPro case. And I can do some really long time lapses, especially like I mentioned, if I'm filming outside the window of the airplane. On the normal GoPro battery, I can only film for a couple of hours, but if I plug it into the battery pack, I can film for 24 hours easily and get an entire sunrise and sunset time lapse, which is super cool. It charges surprisingly quickly and is really just a foolproof solution. And with this little USB charger, I can make sure that my camera batteries don't die either. So there you go. As you can see, it all fits perfectly in this camera bag. I keep all of my cables in the back pouch here. There's a nice little pouch in the back with that same sort of pattern on it that I keep all of my charger cables in, as well as one of these braided lightning cables for my iPhone. I like to keep one of these in every bag, and this pocket in the back is just perfect for keeping cables like this. This one is actually extremely long, which is handy. Again, of course, there'll be a link to it in the description. If you guys watch my laptop bag video, you'll remember these cables. They're super awesome. I forgot to mention, I do also bring a power brick with me. This is just a random one that I picked up, and it has 2 USB ports on it. So if I'm at a hotel or whatever, I can just plug this into the wall. Oh, and actually, I almost forgot, I do also bring with me a tripod. I've gone through all kinds of different tripods, but I always come back to the GorillaPod. It really is just the easiest way to quickly stand up your camera or attach it to a pole or something like that. I have gone through all sorts of different GorillaPods. I used this giant GorillaPod for a while. This is the most expensive one I think that you can get, but it really is just super heavy, and I find it actually not as functional as the plastic one because it bends so much smoother. So a lot of times I'll find it just slowly falling over because it's actually not as strong. Like, it is more robust as far as like build quality and as far as like, I don't know, I guess like just like general strength, but as far as it like actually keeping its position, it'll slowly move out of place. And also, again, it's just super heavy to carry around. So I ditched this one, don't use that anymore. I have another one of these tripods that just got super loose over time and just is basically useless now. So this is my old one. The legs just pop off super easy and not come off all the time when I'm trying to use it. So threw that one away as well. I tried this cheap one off of Amazon that worked great for a while. It's basically just like a metal wire inside with foam around it, and you can bend it in like crazy ways, which is great because you can easily bend it and tighten it around things much easier than you can this one. But of course it broke as well. This one actually broke faster. But if you are looking for a disposable tripod, I definitely recommend these ones. I'll put a link to them in the description. They are super, super great because they're so light and so strong. You can wrap it around the smallest pole and wrap it up so tight compared to the GorillaPod. It's actually really, really cool. But again, they are super weak, so they break very easily. So yeah, again, just settle on the regular GorillaPod. This is a newer one that I have with the ball head, of course. And the way I actually attach it to my bag is kind of cool. I actually just attached a piece of Velcro to the strap, and then I slide one of the legs through just like that, and it holds it really well right next to the camera bag, just like that. This one also has the quick shoe mount like this that you can slide on and off, which I actually prefer to the more expensive GorillaPod. The more expensive one is like a piece of metal that you have to unscrew. This one you just push and release, which is really easy. So I'll usually leave this part on my camera, and then I can easily just release it, put it in my camera bag, and then put the GorillaPod on the strap just like that. And there you go. That is basically everything in my camera bag. I think I covered everything. I actually just leave this bag packed basically at all times. It basically has everything that I need to create my videos in it, and it's super easy to carry around. So I just leave it packed, and I can grab it on a moment's notice, and I have everything that I need. But if you guys are wondering what I keep all of my computer gear in, again, definitely check out the What's in My MacBook Pro bag video. There'll be a link to that in the description. And if you guys enjoyed this video and want to see another video on the final bag that I bring with me traveling, if this video hits over 1,000 likes, I'll be sure to do a What's in My Luggage video. It is actually a really cool luggage, and it fits together with all the other bags. And it's really the ultimate setup for traveling. I'm gonna have to do a video later on called the Ultimate Travel Bag Setup. I bring my laptop bag on my back with my computer and my hard drives and all that kind of stuff. And then my camera bag I can either have over my shoulder, all my camera gear, or I can connect it to my luggage. So yeah, it works out really, really well. If you guys want to see a video on that, then obviously let me know in the comments below. And also hit that like button. If it's over 1,000 likes, I'll be sure to do it. So yeah, again, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And if you want to purchase or check out any things in this video, I'll make sure to put links to them in the description as well. So with that, again, hopefully you guys enjoyed watching, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.